in a few minutes, try to give you, my vision or our vision of, what has happened in the media landscape and why brands and advertising agencies as a whole are facing a real new challenge today. Very important to us, at least, in our viewpoint, is a loss of credibility. There's sources like, reputable sources like Yankelovich telling us that 76% or, 3/4 of consumers don't believe that companies tell the truth in advertising anymore. You look at, who is trustworthy today. The interesting thing is consumers are trustworthy. So, you're looking at recommendations from friends and family leading the pack, and then consumers' opinion posted online. So in other terms, I believe everybody but companies or marketers. If you thought that you still own your brand, here's final news. Your brand is not yours, it's not what you say it is, but it's what Google says it is. And so obviously how are brands reacting? They're obviously challenged. They're turning to classic advisors, to their classic advisors to help and advise them, and those classic advisors are obviously the agencies. To answer those questions, we have two of New York's finest advertising executives with us tonight, Jason Whiting, who is Managing Director of Schematic, and Barry Waxman, who is Executive Vice President and Chief Growth Officer for RGA. Let me now, have Barry come in and pick up the mic.
I'm the Chief Growth Officer of RGA. Probably some of you in the audience know who we are. We're one of the leading digital agencies in the world. And we have about 760 staff now in New York. So we've grown. When I started RGA in '99, we had 50 people. We look at things like Facebook, which is less than 6 or 7 years old and has over 500 million people. And Google is only about 11 or so years, and it's now the most valuable media company in the world. It processes about 2 billion searches a day. And it owns YouTube, which has 7 billion videos on it. These are the kinds of platforms that are transformative. They change people's lives, and people adopt them and they use them over and over again. And that's what we built our model on. Rather than creating these episodic things that are throwaway, we asked our clients to invest in technology that consumers could use over and over again. And we gave a name to it. We called it a platform. So when you have a platform, it completely actually changes the dynamic between campaigns and platforms. It gives you this powerful new way to market and to sort of use the two back and forth with each other to create this new kind of relationship with consumers. And again, it all goes back to growth. That's our job as agencies. And we view platforms as being the really great opportunity of the digital age for our clients.
For years, RGA, Schematic, AKQA, Razorfish, and others have been preaching this moving from interruption to engagement. And now I'm proffering that we should be moving from engagement to value exchange. If Google's already telling people what to do, buy, listen to, watch next, and they're getting better at it all the time, my question to brands and advertisers and advertising agencies is, do you know your customer better than Google? Number one, make your brand relevant. Barry hit it with the Nike Plus. It's marketing with meaning. It's not just cute, but it sells well. It's not just selling, but it's adding value to my life. It's creative with commerce. Take a stand. Show me that you're a brand that I want to associate with myself with and that you're like me. I'll never forget, and of course, people say today, oh, it's not that hard to become a Zappos VIP. But when Zappos gives me free shipping on every order, that makes me want to order more shoes because I'm not paying for shipping. And if I don't like them, I'll just try them on and send them back. And it's that type of value that you get from companies that makes you want to interact with them more because there's a value exchange built into what they do.
Won't some consumers rebel against being told what to do, and how do you deal with them?
Well, that's a great question, and being told what to do might not be right for everyone, but just like today, you can ignore or delete or get rid of any ad that you don't like or doesn't apply to you or doesn't add value to your life. And so if I can create more of those ads that do apply to you and that do add a value exchange to your life, I think in the end that I'll succeed against those people who say, I don't want to be told what to do.
It goes back to the value exchange. If we are providing value, then presumably someone isn't going to go to Netflix and look at recommendations if they don't want to be told what to do. They're just going to, they're going to just browse the site and choose their own. But a lot of people, I think, take the recommendations, and if it actually recommends a movie that you've never seen that you like, you start to trust it. So that's why that value exchange that he was talking about is so critical. And the value comes from the data, right? That's what it's rooted in.
How do you propose creating a platform or developing that deeper interaction with the customer when your client is in a heavily regulated space like pharmaceuticals or finance?
Yeah, that's a good question. That gets asked a lot, but I think that it's not going to be too far in the future where, to his point, we're going to see one of the big pharma companies launch some massive health platform that people are going to be using to track their disease conditions or their nutrition. And I think the privacy issues are maybe a little bit different if you're trying to push a specific product or a brand, but if you're creating a platform that's about helping someone understand their health, I don't know that they're going to have the same regulatory issues. It's absolutely going to happen. It is exactly for the reason why I said. It's because they're going to then have that data, and they will know more than Google does about your personal health.